Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long before 1975, a YouTuber's on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends music about Long Boys Bros 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975, and welcome to the Wednesday vlog. There are things that happen in life when you talk to people considerably younger than you and have to explain things or how you used to, go about doing things when you were a kid in times gone by. And conversations on Netflix and stuff like that, and you've read the title, but do you remember life before box sets and taping shows off the telly? I mean, for years we've always, as kids when we first got VCR technology, sort of Betamax, and VHS, and yeah, I'm sorry, but Betamax was far superior to VHS. Just saying, we tape movies and stuff like that. Like Christmas was a big moment where you would tape movies and you would pause and then start again, record again to try and get around commercials and stuff like that. But it's weird. I'm getting ahead of myself. Once upon a time, you couldn't buy box sets. I think that was probably literally or initially because of the size of storage, of a tape. I mean, eventually you did. I do remember buying Angel. Angel. Season 1 and season 2 box sets, and you had to buy them in 2 parts, and each contained 3 tapes with a certain number of episodes on. And so when you got the whole season, it was a freaking huge thing. And then obviously DVDs came along, but and then even though initially they still didn't pump out seasons like you see now, and even that, having said that, the box sets now are kind of not becoming obsolete, but they're moving to the back of the queue because, online and digital, stuff like Netflix and Amazon Prime and things like that, and iTunes, I guess, as well, means you can download or stream all these things, and so you've got virtual instant access to a box set without any of the sort of physical limitations or negative aspects, I should say, such as storage and the physical size and the room it takes up if you're gonna have as many box sets or love as many TV shows as me. So but it's like I said, I'm getting away from myself again, but it's an interesting thing because it was such a great time, and everyone I knew did it. If you found a show that you loved, you would the only way you could preserve it and then build up the season was to literally record it yourself. Tune into the same time slot when it was on every week and record it yourself and get as many episodes as you could in sequence on a tape, possibly right on the tape or on an inlay card to put inside the sleeve, what episodes of that show it was. And then if you were watching multiple shows, then you would be recording multiple, box sets, and it got really complicated and convoluted. And then it's again coming back to like on demand and stuff like that. It's not back then, it's not like it was now. I mean, there've always been repeats on TV and stuff like that, but when it came to TV shows, if you missed one episode for whatever reason, even if it wasn't your fault, like there was a power cut or storms or things like that, or your equipment broke, you missed one episode, that was it. Your box set was incomplete. It used to piss you off and drive you up the wall. At least in the United Kingdom, what you could do is you probably get the show shown once a year, and then within that same year there'd be a repeat, and then God knows when it would be on again. It's not like it is now. It's not like TV channels like Dave and things like that, or the BBC becoming cheap and constantly repeating stuff. They didn't do this then, and so it was, you would try your hardest, and you certainly wouldn't set a recorder. I never got a recorder, like a timer or a clock, sorry, on the VCR to work properly. Either cut it off too soon or kicked in too late, or just didn't work. But yeah, you would try really, really hard, and for the most part you would achieve this, and you would get these TV shows and these seasons that you love. I mean, that's how I built up initially, because it took years for them to release Red Dwarf. I had all the shows of Red Dwarf taped in sequence. I had seasons and seasons excuse me, of The Simpsons. I had loads and loads of Quantum Leap, and like I said, it got really, really demanding and took a lot of commitment to do it, but I just remember having so much fun, and it was part and parcel of the time I grew up in. And I think, you know, the younger generation, I think they take for granted, especially with, you know, instant digital access to everything, you know. And before that, you know, box sets, I think people seem to forget that, God, I'm making it sound archaic, like we lived in the dark ages or something. I guess you could call it the dark ages of TV. But yeah, there was a time simply when, you know, you just didn't have access to this media. Again, it comes along with the, you know, the advancement of technology, going from tape to, although like I said, there were, you know, crude box sets on tape, to DVD storage, which then allowed you to get, you know, better, you know, box sets, slimmer and more stuff like that. But, you know, once upon a time there was none of this. I mean, you would watch something on TV unless you make no effort to preserve it yourself, and then there's the legality in that within itself, because this is copyright material. And wasn't the law on a VCR something like you could record it and watch it for a week before you would have to delete it? I don't know, actually, but I'm sure it's something like that. Sorry, I haven't had any Pepsi Max, so the aspartame is not suppressing cough or aiding in the, you know, preservation of my bones. But yeah, it seems really, really crude. Like I said, it seems like the dark ages, but it was fun, it was compelling, it was really, really enjoyable. It was also painful when it went wrong, but I don't know, when it was weird having to explain to someone, like, because the number of times you hear from someone, like I used to, God, I'm sounding like an old man, who's considerably younger than you, like, which is, well, what did you do without Netflix? We watched it on the TV. What did you do if you missed it? I don't know, wait a year for it to come back around, and then hopefully watch it then, and not miss it twice. But then obviously then I explained that we used to, you know, make our own box sets. It's like, what do you make your own box sets? Which I've just been talking about, obviously to you guys, which is we would record it ourselves. But then was the other side of it, which was, you know, I had loads of stuff like Red Dwarf and things like that. And those of English shows and Men Behaving Badly, things like that. But they were easy to do, because your standard, you know, in Doctor Who obviously, your standard sort of UK TV show then, and still to some degree on specific comedies, was 6 episodes, 8 if you were really lucky, but standard would be 6, and a Christmas special if you were really lucky. Only Fools and Horses was never one I built up myself. But then, you know, obviously US shows have always had, you know, bigger season runs or series runs and lengths like that. So then if you, like I found out back then they were quantity, then if you fell in love with a US show or US sitcom, my mates used to record Friends religiously, then you had an even stronger, you know, effort or commitment to record it, because then you'd be looking at 22 shows, and then, you know, and again, if you missed one, then you were fucked. You'd probably have to wait maybe 8 months until you would get the first series of repeats within the same year of that show. But do you know what? Like I said, I miss it. I really, really do miss it. And I was wondering what your memories are. When I say I really, really do miss it, I do, you know, more so appreciating like the fact that I can buy box sets now, and I always prefer buying them to stream them anyway. But as I said, I still do really miss this. It was kind of, you know, the things we did to preserve the shows we liked and we loved, you know, and because if you like something that makes you laugh, it's like anything. We didn't just do it because we were obsessive back then. We did it because this was something I loved. This was something I really, really got a massive amount of enjoyment of, and I don't want to have to wait maybe just to see it one more time in a year. I want to be able to watch it whenever I want. I want to be able to watch it on my demand. So, you know what, this is when we did it. But at the same time, like I said, you know, effort was involved, but there was something kind of, I don't know, sincere, funny, sweet, and just old school about the fact that there was a period of time before box sets. You know, you if you wanted to watch a show again, you had to record it. So I would love to know what your memories are, what your experiences are. Do you remember life before box sets, and do you remember the shows you used to love and how you would go out of your way, you know, to tape them, and the utter pain in the ass and, you know, burn it was when one show fucked up, or it wasn't your fault, the weather, the power cuts, things like that, but through no fault of your own you missed one show and it would just fucking piss you off. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think, you know, as always, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.